gosh, they cut off my song. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Just Enough Heshy show. We have an interesting show for you tonight. We have a special guest co-host, and by the way, I'm very upset. I have one of my constituents, listeners, called me boring. Is that true? Am I boring, Tom? I'm not happy, Tom. You made me sad, and I was happy all day today.
Well, maybe this will fire you up.
Well,
I promised them that I would fire you up.
Well, I promise you I'm not boring. I know one
Doesn't
thing.
take much.
All I know is I was at a wedding Sunday, and I was having a rough day, a rough weekend. You know, we took care of a family with 5 kids, a young lady, and then I went to George's giveaway toys. George, you are just wonderful.
Thanks.
He gave away thousands of toys to all different kinds of children. I don't know why we're clapping, and George allowed me to come, and he gave me the Santa hat, and everybody commented.
Big controversy.
Right. Oh, you're Santa Claus. I wasn't wearing the badge or the suit and nothing. I just wore the stupid hat and made a comment.
Probably would have fit.
Yeah, the suit would have Nicole. Oh, gosh. And she insulted me. It's fine. I'm going to get her in the show. Don't worry about it, everybody.
Well, it makes 2 of us today. Heshy, I was on the air with a coach at Five Towns College, the women's soccer team, and one of our former listeners, you might say, really took the comment, the wrong way. So,
Can I just say something about the toy giveaway? We gave out over 1,000 toys.
I love you. And you gave it to every, you gave me toys to deliver to these 5 children.
And the lines you had, I saw on Instagram.
I stood there as the kids opened it up because they had no toys. They had 0, I don't know what that sign says. But what did he say?
Give us a call at 646-974-1580.
By the way, I also want to thank the Coney for helping us sponsor
Coney,
it.
yeah.
I mean, they were great.
Yeah, but I want you to know, I watched as those kids that had 0 toys, Nicole, 0, nothing in that house. They sit there half a day doing nothing because they're still having trouble with schools. They were so happy, George. I tell you right then and there, I wanted to turn my car and drive to your house and kiss you.
See,
but
You couldn't be a hot girl, could you?
You know what, George? Just for the middle of the week, George calls me up out of the blue. I have a joke for you. I'm not going to tell you George's joke. I have somebody else's joke I'm going to tell you. George doesn't want to get in trouble. We have a lot to talk about today. We have Sarah Rose with us. Sarah Rose.
How you doing, Sarah?
How old? I don't want to make a mistake.
8.
8 years old. She's one of our co-hosts tonight. She has a lot to say. Do you have a lot to say?
Yeah.
We're going to let your mother do all the
Always.
saying. Let your mother have a lot to say.
Are you a Republican or Democrat? We need to know.
Democrat.
Oh, no. We'll fix you up. Don't worry about it.
Raising her right.
All I know is your mother is going to be switching to Republican once she gets married.
She's not.
I have
will.
to say, Heshy, this year I actually may side with them on that one. So we'll see.
Really?
Locally, though.
Okay.
Locally.
Yes,
Right,
welcome
I'm
to
also going to be
sanity.
helping you with a Democrat.
Well, we're not going to
George
say that
won't
on the
like
air
that.
yet, but obviously we're getting ready for a number of different things, Heshy. But I do want to say hello to some people tuned in. I want
Go
to actually
ahead.
say hello to some of our friends actually from Malloy College because I am actually wearing a shirt for the Malloy men's basketball team. Well, why is that important? Because my very good friend is the assistant coach on the team, Jason Gaudieso, and a number of players from the school I'm actually friends with. And Michael Smith actually went to Malloy, and he knows a few players I actually know, along with our friend Black Beauty. I say hello to them, and let's go Malloy.
Hello, Black Beauty.
And Josh Bailey is here with us, and In Hot Water is also here as well. So thank you, everybody here, for tuning in. Also, hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, and thank you for joining
Merry
us here.
Christmas.
And one
Happy Hanukkah.
more from Michael. Michael asked me if I went to the WWE house show at Madison Square Garden. I said, no, I did not. I was actually on the air, though, with a wrestler who probably could do a few things in the ring, but no, I was not there at the Garden. So
Anyways, if you think I'm boring, please call the show and tell us if I'm boring.
646-974-1580.
And you can email Just Enough Heshy. You can go to the
I'll put that
Instagram of Just Enough Heshy. You could, I don't know, at gmail.com. You gotta
Yes,
put that
I
stuff
always
in.
put it on every
Okay,
week, Yep.
good.
And HeshyTischler.com is still up.
Right,
and,
right.
And if you want to visit us, we're still for now at 5318 16th Avenue, corner of 54th Street here in the center of beautiful Borough Park, Brooklyn.
Right, right.
Yes.
Wonderful. And I am not wearing Santa's hat, even though I really liked it. It was so cool. I
That's
think I
big
looked great in the
controversy,
video.
huh?
I know. But it was, one guy calls me up screaming at me, how do you wear Santa's hat? You're Jewish. You're not allowed to wear Santa Claus. It's
Where does it
Catholic.
say
It's
that?
good. I don't know. So, by the way, we have to welcome the people, our listeners to our
Yes, WSNR 620 AM, also also want to say hello to our friends at 102.7 WNEW, of course, the legendary one-time rock and roll station. We also have from Miami, I believe, WJPR now. So we say hello to those stations.
Welcome
here,
to the show. But I was wearing the Santa Claus hat, and people are calling, screaming at me, how do you dress like Santa Claus? I said, it's just a stupid hat. We were giving away toys. We were doing good things.
By the way, we gave out toys to Christian kids, Muslim kids, Jewish kids, all kinds of kids.
Did you give to black kids?
Black kids,
You
Spanish
sure?
kids,
You sure?
Chinese kids.
So what you did was you didn't care what religion, what race, what color, and you had no problem with
There was
that.
no means test.
And I know I gave to the Jewish kids, so you were just a good man. And when all these big, rich Hasidic politicians go to the White House and mingle with all these, I'm not going to say the word, WHORE. No, Ina, not you today.
You don't think she can spell? I mean, she's in third grade.
Oh, right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It means whatever. Anyways, I was joking. Anyways, I want you to know that they go to mingle, they eat not kosher, or they eat kosher over there. But you can't eat kosher and touch their wines. But anyways, I don't know. He picked up his middle finger or something.
Well,
what happened?
You should probably just move off the point because you do have an 8-year-old on the
Oh, right. Did they say something bad again?
Well,
Yes. What do you mean?
so Sarah, what's on your mind, Sarah?
I don't know.
What's on
Anyway,
your-
maybe I'm turning boring. But we're going to start our show now. I have a quote. And this quote I made for Tom because he always gives me a lot of comfort. He gives me energy and he builds me up when George starts screaming at me. And here, George, I want you to hear this. Every year, I make a resolution to change myself. This year, I will make a resolution to be myself. And I'm telling it to all of you guys. Every year, you guys make resolutions to change yourselves. This year, make a resolution to be yourself. You must be yourself. You can be a better yourself. You don't have to change yourself. I know that my way of doing things is the right way. I know George wants me to calm down and be a statesman and all that. I don't know, George. I don't know.
Well, I just want to add to what you were saying. Don't look at your neighbor or friend or family member and compare yourself. Compare yourself to the man you were last year and the year before that.
Well, I know that I'm going to try to be better, but I'm going to be the same. And I know that a lot of people don't like the way I do things, but I do it the right things. At least I think it's
Let's
the right
try
thing.
not to get arrested this
Let's try not to get arrested this year. You know, I was helping some people
Just
right
because
now.
you have a lawyer doesn't mean you need to use it.
I have more than one. I have like so many
Nicole,
of you lawyers.
are you available 24 hours?
That's a hell of a retainer, George.
Actually, I wanted to give you a big plug, actually, Nicole, because our buddy Justin Parsley, I was speaking with Justin Parsley earlier on the air, and he wanted to say a few things about you in particular. He feels that you bring a great dynamic to the show.
thank you,
He
Justin.
loves the fact that you're intelligent in litigations, legislation, and laws.
We'll find out today. I have a question for her.
He likes what you bring to the show, even though politically doesn't always agree, but he feels like that when it comes to arguing your points.
Okay,
you're
too
always
much. Let's go
Well,
next. I got to say
He
a
also
joke.
wanted to say that his daughter's name is also Sienna Rose, and it's the prettiest name for girls.
Oh, I
being
love
so-
it. Well, it's
Here's
important.
my joke, everybody. Are you ready? My joke is something that I think was funny, and I know that you guys might not, and really I don't care. Anyways, here it goes. I was on the plane to Israel, okay, and this big guy coming down the aisle, and he has this oversized bag. Okay, you know how everybody does, and he holds up the whole aisle, and he's shoving the bag in the overhead protection, overhead, and we're standing there, and people are starting to murmur and say some things, and he's shoving, and it's not working. Finally, the stewardess comes over to him and says, listen, this is an oversized bag. I'm going to have to check it in. And he says, no, I'm not giving it in the checking in. When I fly other airlines, they don't care. She says, if you fly another airline, I wouldn't care either.
I like that.
Okay. Anyways, here's my joke. When we were in school, okay, in boarding school, and outside, we used to go, not me, the guys used to go to the bars. And I was with them one time. And as you know, when we come out of the bars at night, there's always a policeman standing there waiting for somebody. And all my guys left, and we all walked out. And our last friend, Chaim, came out of the bar, and he was wobbly, almost falling down. You could see that he was stone drunk. He finally gets to the car, and the cop is waiting. He turns on the car, he starts to drive. Woo, woo, woo. The red light is on, and we all see this. The cop pulls him over, takes him out of the car, gives him a breathalyzer test. And it turns out to be 000. She says, oh my gosh, how is that possible? He says, I'm the designated decoy.
Double D,
You
the
get that?
designated decoy.
That's pretty good.
I
Yeah,
love it.
yeah. You see. Now I'm not giving you any advice, everybody. Do not.
Just clever enough tonight, sir.
Right.
You were
Yes,
just clever
that's
enough to
it,
quote Marv Albert.
Thank you so much. Well, these are the things that
I think Nicole would advise
I
you
want
not
to
to
tell
do
you
that.
one final joke.
We need a
It's not a
disclaimer on
joke.
the show.
It's a stupid joke. Why are there no Walmarts in Gaza?
Opa.
Because there's a Target on every corner. Now that is not my joke. I got it from somebody else. I can't tell you who I got it from. But yeah. Anyways, we have, by the way, everybody, Powerball. There's usually a winner every Christmas. This year there was no Powerball winner. It's up to $730 million. Linda made me go out extra early to buy that Powerball ticket. It's going to hit $1 billion. I'm telling you, somebody's going to win it over New Year's weekend. Go out and buy yourself a Powerball. Good luck, everybody.
You know
If
why
Linda-
there was no Christmas Powerball, right? It's because you got caught wearing a Santa hat. That's it.
Oh wow! It wasn't a good joke. Anyway, I wanna. Of course, my producer's not here, so I don't know how to put up this sign. As you know, I was in Israel, George and Nicole, and I promised the soldiers to raise money for them and their vests. And I got calls from a lot of people. And
We have it up now, by the
we
way.
have it up, and you can tell them about the page that
Absolutely.
you should all donate to. It would be a great thing.
It's at causematch.com /SSU /138080. That's causematch.com /SSU 138080.
You don't have to put the slashes in.
That's the link I have there. It's causematch.com.
It's Causeway. It's
put it in.
causematch.com
Causematch.com,
/SSU /138080.
I got it in.
And it is Soldier Saves Lives. It's a Heshy Tishla page. They've raised already $1,334,000.
And the goal is $2 million to raise.
The goal is $2 million. I want to put in like $500,000. So please, everybody, come on down, donate, send in your $5, $10, $2. The soldiers need it. The Israelis need it. And we want to help them, and this war is almost over. And by the way, I'm going to bring something up. You know, I was reading that this idiot leader, Khalil, I forgot his name, the leader of the Hamas, has decided now.
Sinwar?
What? No, Kalal something, retard.
The point is, he's a leader. I think
okay.
the leader, some leader of some Hamas group. All right.
No, he is the leader
right.
of Hamas.
Sarah, don't
and
repeat anything
he
you hear.
He's willing now to make a deal to work with the Palestinian Authority. That means he's going to join. For usually Gaza, the Hamas leaders were not part of the Palestinian Authority.
Right.
They're willing to make a deal to rule Gaza together.
Lech Lazazel.
All of a sudden, now he's willing to have the Palestinian
Absolutely not.
join after. Right, absolutely not. But again, it's a dumb thing, and I hope they wipe out Gaza. I hope they throw everybody out of Gaza. I know that you're saying humanitarian. I was listening to a recorded call today with the IDF talking to a resident, telling him they're stealing our food. The UNRWA, whatever that organization is, the UNRWA,
Yep.
they are actually helping Hamas take the food to the fighters for anybody else. Then whatever's left over, they give to some of the people that are on the list. They're stealing even the humanitarian aid, which we all know is happening, and they're telling it on a recorded line that thousands and thousands of people heard.
What is, I mean, for somebody who's not following this, as an American, I'm not following this at 110%. What is the end goal in Gaza?
Simple. We
And
empty
tell me
out-
something
ask,
real.
and what's
we
the end
kill-
goal
And tell me
for-
something realistic.
You
There's
can
an
tell
end goal
him.
for
You
Hamas.
can tell him.
There's an end goal for Hamas, and there's an end goal for the IDF. Who are you asking about?
I'm asking about the IDF. I mean, they're going to
Wipe
win.
every
So-
single one of them off the
Correct.
streets, kill them. We're not going to be able to do
We're
it. 'cause
talking the
some will get
terrorists,
away.
to be clear.
Right.
The terrorists
The end goal is to
and
end
anybody that
Hamas.
supports the Hamas.
Right. Not
Anybody-
even anyone that supports them. The end goal is to cut off Hamas's entire leadership and to disband them as a group. The end goal is never to take over Gaza. So really, what's happening now is that Israel is stuck with what to do with Gaza, and now they're on what they announced yesterday was a 7-front war, Hamas being at the front of it. The end goal was always to eradicate Hamas as a group completely.
So what happens to Gaza after?
So we have to give it back. So they're talking about, first of all, we're going to watch it for a couple of years, make sure it stays in rubble and nobody is able to ever do what they're doing again and clean out every single house. But they're going to have to give it back to the Palestinian Authority or never give it back and annex it again. But the point is they don't want Gaza. They built a beautiful Gaza. They spent billions and billions of dollars and they destroyed it. You know, Lebanon in the 1980s was a destruction. And one guy took $1 billion back then and rebuilt Lebanon. Gorgeous. I know, I saw it in the 80s. It was beautiful. It was like a vacation. You didn't want to go to Florida or Cancun. You wanted to go to Lebanon. Oh, wow. And then they destroyed it again. Destroyed it for what reason? It's a rubble. It's just a civil war that's going on. I don't have no idea what they're up to in the Middle East over there. But, you know, a lot of Jews people, we also have our crazies that want to stop the killings and you know what I mean, stop the anti-apartheid, whatever stupidity, like these stupidity of Palestinians. I went to so a lot of the religious Jewish people don't want to recognize, we know our Jewish people, but we don't want to recognize the state of Israel.
I've seen those people.
Okay, and I went to a wedding on Sunday. It was a rough day, you know, and a rough weekend. And I went to the wedding, and we're all sitting there. It was a cute little wedding. The bride comes out, and the groom comes out, and she walks around, and we're all, you know, getting bored with the blessings. It was very cute, you know, standard ceremony, and people were talking and chatting. All of a sudden, they take out the Israeli flag, and they drape it over the groom and bride, and they start playing the Israeli national anthem. And you saw Hasidic, modern, regular Jewish people all together clapping and cheering in the middle of a wedding of what was going on. It made everybody joyous at that wedding. We never seen that before. And then the video, and I took a video, it went viral. I was speaking to soldiers and bases. It went all over Israel, Europe, London. Hundreds of thousands of people saw this video. I didn't post it. I posted my version of the 9 seconds. But it was like wonderful. This is what it means. You go to, and my niece's wedding, I'm going to make them drape the Israeli flag. You're supposed to put like a tallis over you, a prayer shawl. They put the Israeli flag. And when I went last night, I drove back to their thing to speak at their event because I love them, what they did. They made me happy at a wedding. You're supposed to be happy at a wedding. That wedding, I was real joyous, and I want to thank the couple. They make it was like a few hundred people there. Everybody was so cheerful after that. You just saw the whole wedding, and I danced, and it was very cool. Anyways, that's what I had to say about that. Don't forget, guys, donate to the Soldier Saves Lives.
So they draped themselves with the Israeli flag like ENOUGH.
No, Ina dressed herself, you know, in a low-cut dress. Okay, thank you, Joe.
Well,
so
moving
much.
on.
Along,
I wanted to give a couple plugs actually real quick.
Oh, shout out. My granddaughter Mira Nava.
Yep.
Sergeant Peter. My granddaughter Layla Tamar. My grandson Yeshua, that's running around and walking and reading a book. Well, he's not really reading. I make up stories, and he keeps like going, like he's questioning me. He knows the story I'm telling doesn't match the book. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as Goldilocks and the 19 bears. But there's so much to tell about that, I had to just add a couple of beers. Anyways.
Well, I wanted to
not drinking beers, regular dancing beers.
I wanted to plug our esteemed co-host Nicole and her law firm, which is at VeitenGruberLaw.com. Veitengruber Law provides compassion when care when it comes to bankruptcy, foreclosures, trust, and wills. You can give them a call anytime at 732-695-3303. They're at 1720 Highway 34, Suite 10 in Wall Township, New Jersey. And I also wanted to plug our friends over at Crossroads of Tom's River. You can check them out at crossroadstreatmentcenters.com, and they help out when it comes to any Medicare issues or any mental health. And I know right now, you know, people are thinking about New Year's, and it's kind of tough because you're in between that Christmas and New Year period, and they definitely provide you any help. It's from Monday to Saturday, basically from all business hours. Their number is at 800-805-6989. They're at 751 Route 37 West in South Toms River, New Jersey. One more time, they're at crossroadstreatmentcenters.com, and they're at 800-805-6989 Monday through Saturday, so you can call them up anytime anonymously.
Don't be scared to ask for help, guys.
Mental health is a big
Mental
issue
health,
right now.
drugs,
Major issue.
It's serious, guys. There's no reason. 2024 is here. You can get better. There's so much accomplished. This year is coming. We're ready to stand up, fight back, and just have a great year. So, guys, don't Crossroads is really a good.
And I'd like to also plug really quickly some of my listeners on Sports Wire Radio because my last interview last night actually got about 1,000 listens.
Nice.
At 1,000. Yeah, so-
Congratulations.
By the way, the guy's name, the leader of the Hamas is Khalid Mashal. And we're going to get you, Khalid. We're going to get you. Don't worry about it. We're going to find you. We're going to get you. Don't
Got
worry,
shout
you're
outs,
done.
Tom.
Shout out to obviously Anthony Finkel. I want to also shout out Johnny the Pizza Guy. I was kind of wondering Johnny C is actually. I was kind of really looking forward to Johnny C.
Look how excited you got. Johnny C is coming after the new year. We're
All
gonna
right,
do a
well, looking
pizza
forward
sampling.
to Johnny C.
And I want you guys to know, I want to ask you a question. And I'm going to get to, I want to ask, before we get to, I want to talk a little bit more about Israel and the protests.
Sure.
But I want to ask you a question. You know, George told me to ask you, Nicole. It's not me. It's not my question.
I asked.
Okay.
Oh, God.
So
We're
here's
playing
the
telephone
question.
now?
As you know, that Colorado ruled that
Trump's off the
Trump
ticket.
is off the ticket.
Was Nicole there for that? Maybe.
No, but I'm asking her
was in
legal
Colorado.
advice. She was in Colorado.
Maybe she was there
Why
to
was she there?
help Trump get off the ballot.
Okay, that's the reason I don't like it. Anyways, so they knocked him off the ballot. In Michigan today, the appeals court says, oh, no, it doesn't work like that. So Michigan right there alone set precedent that there is no way to get Trump off. So when it goes back to the Colorado appeals court, which now the Colorado appeals court said we're not fast-tracking it. So
Okay.
the election and the primary is going to happen before it gets ruled by the appeals court.
Yeah.
The lower court put a stay on their decision. That means they made the decision, but they're putting a stay on the thing because they're waiting for the appeals
waiting
court
for
to
appeals
rule.
through
So
January
is
4th.
he on the ballot or is he off the ballot?
So right now, when you put a stay and you wait for something to go into appeal, it's not really effective. So right
But
now,
they're
he's,
saying he's off the ballot.
constitutionally, he's off the ballot. There is no ballot right now. Nobody's voting. There's no
Sure,
primary.
the primary.
Right?
The
There-
primary's in a month, right? A month or two?
Well, the ballot, what she's referring to, may not be certified in that
Correct.
state.
It's not certified in the state yet.
Just like
so
when you
right
ran
now,
No,
last
not
year, yeah.
certified, but they weren't even going to put him on the ballot to have his name click. And according to George, even if you wrote his name in, it wouldn't count.
Well, the ruling was
pending
that,
appeal, though.
but the
Pending
ruling,
appeal.
but the ruling was said they're not even supposed to count people filling it in. But
But now, will his name appear on the primary since the appeals court won't listen to it till after the elections?
But they put a stay. So the stay is to January 4th, unless they extended
No.
it.
The what do you mean? They can't do a stay. They put a stay till the appeals court rules on it. That was what I heard.
So then, right now, he's still on the ballot until the appeals court says something
Okay,
about it.
I didn't hear that he's back on the ballot. That's the interesting
can
point.
I ask a bigger question here?
Yeah.
As a Democrat, doesn't it bother you that you guys don't have a candidate that gets people excited, and you guys have to resort to tricks to getting Trump off the ballot?
You guys
to
resorted to an entire
to-
insurrection.
To
What,
prosecuting him.
hold on, here we go again. Insurrection. Oh my God! I saw buildings burning. I saw people being stabbed.
Yeah.
But during the COVID thing. Oh, by the way, COVID is back there.
I actually have it in my notes.
Yeah,
I know you like a book, Heshy. I
Nicole,
knew you were gonna bring
COVID
it
is
up.
back. Not only back, a worse virus.
Well, let's get back to the main
let's
point.
get
So my
here.
point is, with the whole country was on fire during the insurrection, a couple of guys walked into the Capitol.
Oh, a
Nobody
couple of
caused
guys.
fires.
Yeah, sure. You
No
make it sound like the
damage
Fresh
to the
Prince of Bel-Air.
walls.
Well, a couple of guys, they were up to no good. I don't think that's
Wasn't
how that
there a
went.
local guy actually that you know that had
Right,
trouble
right.
there? Some
He
local
walked
guy
in
with
there
a
with a
last
horn
name
hat,
M.
and I'm allowed to be able to walk into my
Hey, wasn't
Capitol
he a
whenever I
vertical
want.
That's no, you're not.
Why would it be no? I'm not. It's my Capitol. It's my Capitol.
It's not your house.
Hold on a second. You are allowed to walk into the Capitol building.
Not
just
whenever you want.
You're-
Those buildings
during
close.
business hours, you're
right,
allowed to
during
walk.
business hours, not whenever you
You're
want.
not allowed
Okay,
to
so
walk
that was
into
business
offices.
hours. That was business hours.
It's-
They were voting. I wanted to go
We're
see
not
the
allowed
vote.
to break windows to walk in and
Nobody
bash
broke
officers.
any windows.
No,
The
you're
doors
not.
were pushed open. You see how the Democrats changed
Six
the
people
story?
died that day, including
Because
police.
of the Democrats.
They were not. Really?
Yeah.
That's your storyline?
And only one died, was killed at the time. The rest died of heart attacks and mental illness because they were retarded
Oh,
anyway.
as long as only one died, that's totally cool.
No, and who killed him? A Democratic cop.
No, not a Democratic cop.
Yeah.
A cop died by people stomping on him. What are you talking
stop
about?
it.
But again, let's talk about the bigger issue. First of all, Trump was never prosecuted for insurrection.
Right.
He told people at 2:30, 3 o'clock, "Hey, go home, people. Calm down, relax,
Yeah, at
whatever."
3 o'clock, sure.
Well, listen,
He
can't-
waited all day.
He didn't tell people go storm the building. That would be
He
an
not only did he tell them, he said, "I will walk with you. I will walk with you, he said, LOL, and then went back to his TV to watch it all unfold.
You
Give me
can
a
walk
break.
with his people, but
Yeah, walk
that's
with
not
his
an
people to the
insurrection.
Capitol.
not
I'm
an
going to walk with
insurrection.
you to the
They had
Capitol while
no
everybody
weapons.
sings.
They had
Everybody
no
chants,
weapons.
hang Mike
They
Pence.
never said take over the government.
That's exactly
There's
what he
no
wanted.
revolution.
He knew
I
what he was
know-
doing.
Yeah,
He knew what
knew.
he was doing.
Okay, so you have, first of all, intent has to be proven. And they did not prove any intent. They did not prove anything. That's my point to you. Whatever you want to say, it's still, even if he did do that, you still have to have an intent. You remember, there has to be a motive and an intent. He did not have, according
love
to
the
the
legal
law.
Well,
theory.
if
The
you
legal
want to
theory
tell
is
us
the
what you
exercise
think
theory is
out there
great.
in the audience, give us a call at 646-974-1580. That's
They don't pick up the
646-974-1580.
phones anyways.
And in the
We have a
meantime,
producer. He's there. I just
George,
saw
Who are
him.
you shouting out today, Heidi?
I'm giving a shout out to my cousin John Sarantopoulos.
Huh?
Nice.
He
John,
felt
the
that
big guy, right?
Yeah, well, he's a tall guy with the mustache. He
Yeah,
felt
yeah, yeah.
at the holiday party, I didn't give him a good shout out, so
Uh-huh.
I just want him. Thank you very much for helping us this year on the campaign, right?
Yeah,
He was
yeah,
great
yeah.
help.
Met
John
John.
was a great help. Yeah,
Just met
it
him
was
on
wonderful.
election day. Yep.
So that's my shout out this week.
By the way,
Well-
everybody, we have good news about the migrants. Mayor Adams now created, what was it called again? An emergency declaration.
You're talking about the 32-hour notice, basically, with
What's
the
it called
migrants.
again? An
Emergency proclamation.
Executive order.
Executive
Executive
order,
order, okay.
that nobody's allowed to come into the city. No bus company has to give 32 hours notice, and they can only come between the hours of 8:30 and noon. Now, there's, I think, 60,000 new migrants running towards the border right now, trying to get in.
I thought it was 67,000 was the number, I believe.
Whatever.
67,000.
I just want to say something.
So they're only allowed, all 67,000 could come in, but between 8:30 and noon. Okay? And if the buses do drive them in, they get a misdemeanor.
Do they have to pay congestion pricing when they come in?
I'm sure.
By the
they
way,
do.
we're having the first hearings for that later in the month of February for congestion pricing. Now you can actually put your own comments in now on the MTA website. So I'm sure, Heshy, you'll be making your 2 cents heard loud and clear.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, the only person I would shout out is sitting right here. So
Oh,
I want
Sarah
everyone-
Rose, yeah.
Sarah
I want
Rose.
everyone to meet
So
Sarah
now I
Rose.
want to
This
go
is my
back
little
to
girl.
your Palestinians. These kids that are doing nothing, a lot of these other idiots, they go and they shut down JFK Airport. They go and shut down Grand Central Terminal, and one lady got killed because a guy doesn't like any white people. I'm just telling you.
Did you see the JFK? They shut down the highway and people had to
Forget
walk
the highway.
to the-
I was driving to Muncie, New York with Yaakov when the traffic stopped. On the other way coming into New York.
Yeah, we spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah,
You-
all the
from Muncie, yep.
Palestinians stopped on the highway. And the cops are screaming.
First of all, they're not all Palestinians. They're
Right.
activists and
Activists, stupid
students,
people that have nothing better what to
radicals,
do.
anarchists.
Right, and some high school, Hillcrest High School.
All the food groups.
Hillcrest High School.
Democrats.
kids. Right.
Nah, I
Hey,
don't know
leave,
about that.
leave some
They're
of the
not
Democrats
Democrats.
alone.
They're
Leave some of them
Palestinian
alone.
idiots.
We'll
They're
look
not
for
even real
Democrat this year.
Palestinians. They don't know what it is to fight. They don't know what it is to serve this country. They take. Half of them are on food stamps or welfare, and they don't work, or they're taking cash and they're not even paying taxes. And what are they doing? We're letting them protest. Thousands of cops are fighting. The other day there was a fight. I forgot what it was. I was watching it on video how they attacked the cops. And you know,
Yes, yes.
on New Year's Day, there's going to be thousands of cops deployed.
You want to
to
stop
watch
you-
the ball.
You want to stop those violent protests?
Yeah.
If you get arrested at doing violence at a protest,
No, they let them
Automatic
go.
hate
no.
All the BLMs
Hold on a
get-
second.
yeah.
Hold on. If you get arrested, they should take away your benefits.
Whoa, whoa, okay. First of all, can we hold this, because this line of discussion is just whoa. Let's. I understand what you're saying. If you're on benefits, you have no business doing that. But this idea though can go south really quick. This demonization of people that happen to be poor really doesn't fit in the context of the discussion.
Sure.
No, it doesn't.
Do you see any rich people protesting with the Palestinians? Any rich
Trump's
people?
a rich person. He was protesting. Lots of people.
Not with the
not with the
Palestinians,
Palestinians.
against the
but-
Palestinians.
So now we're going to split hairs over the cause.
When did he protest? January 6th.
Now we're
wasn't a
splitting hairs
protest.
over causes. So
January
if you're rich,
6th
you
was
can.
a ga-
If you're rich, you can only protest for this subset of categories. If you're poor, you can't protest at all. What kind of
No,
nonsense is that?
No, you can protest. You just can't be violent about it. You
Right.
can't.
You can't be violent.
Agreed, but I think that should apply to everybody, not just people who are on benefits.
Well, I'm just saying the benefit. Look, let's be honest.
The people
There's a
who have
propensity-
time during the
they
day,
have plenty of time to
because
go
they're like
protest.
they have no job like me, so I want to go to these protests. I want to fight and scream, but I'm sorry that I have to buy shoes for their kids and I have to drink milk with Linda because I can't afford the
you
$5.
happen to be married?
I can't right. I can't afford the $19 latte, even though George says that my mattress is full of cash. No wonder I don't sleep well. The cash is not comfortable. You know what I mean? Full of cash, he tells my nephew. My nephew disappeared now. I think he went to my house to find the
Surreal,
mattress.
yeah.
I think he believed me.
He did. Trust me, he believed you.
But a couple comments real quick. Jay Joker wants to say, even if it was an insurrection, this current chaos is not worse than the insurrection ? Justin Parsley, our third member of the Sports
Shutting
Radio Hall
down
of Fame.
Christmas,
Yeah,
shutting down
and
Hanukkah, shutting down
it's
the
wrong.
airport,
And Justin Parsley-
shutting down the highway,
It's wrong
but it's not
across,
stopping.
It's wrong across all
And
segments,
nobody's stopping
and
it.
it's blatant
And
anti-Semitism.
the mayor has no control. The
It has
police have no
nothing to do
control.
with being on
But the
welfare,
police
though.
make a video. Oh my God, we have too much work to fill out forms. You're not doing anything else.
And-
You're giving tickets. Fill out the goddamn forms.
And Justin Parsley wants to say, in open and close quotes, criminals kept off ballots at least LOL, basically. That's what Justin Parsley says. And Michael Smith says you need to be in comedy now.
So,
Okay,
I think we should be getting a lot. I love the commentary, the discourse of people that disagree is so important.
You have done.
Sure,
to
sure.
us.
But I have done. Oh, I'm a
Since you
powerful
are
woman.
holding back
Bring it in.
our right to vote, taking away our 14th Amendment because the president can't vote, you're now telling us to shut up because we can't protest January 6th because we're wrong. But the Palestinians can do whatever they want.
I said no such thing. I said don't make this about being
Yeah,
on
but I
welfare.
interpreted it different. Anyways,
else
so here's my thing. The New York Times, which is a public newspaper, they publish
You strike me
articles.
as a big New York Times reader.
I hate the New York Times.
know.
I used to read it a long time ago. I hate the New York Times.
It's
Now,
good. It's good for the dog cage.
But the point is, when I was a kid, Nicole, I was a kid, they used to bring the newspapers into class, and we used to have to read articles or do reports on the daily thing or understand.
You
And
do
the
book reports, Sarah? Do they
Well,
make you read the paper and do book reports?
No, in second grade, since I had like the highest rating level in the class, they made me grab a chapter book. And at that time, unfortunately, my half aunt was teaching the class, and she gave me a packet, and she gave me a book, and I had to read that book every day before I did anything else.
Poor baby.
And then I had to write down everything.
So essentially,
that's what I do all the day long.
Only if you're one of the nerds do you get book reports.
But I
yeah.
want you to know, the New York Times, like all the newspapers, when we were in school and college, you have to read the papers, current events, and you have to keep it. So it's public information, and they use it as a teaching tool. And people in offices and businesses read their newspapers every day, and they buy stocks and
Yeah, we
tell
used
their
to do
other
that.
staff members and give out quotes to their clients.
Mm-hmm.
The New York Times is suing something called OpenAI and Microsoft that they are training their chatbots with their stories.
So do you understand how it works?
Yeah.
How OpenAI works?
Right.
Do you understand how it works?
I know it works. When you ask it a question, it researches.
I understand that, but do you understand how it learns?
No.
It reads thousands and millions of articles and studies
Okay.
it, and then
But
creates
this is
a pattern.
public information. Public information, once it becomes public information, anybody's allowed to access.
Well,
That's the law, just like music.
Well, let's
When-
ask the lawyer what she thinks.
Not exactly.
Sure.
Okay.
Public news, and it's news. It's not like a book that you wrote that
But
you
is it
plagiarized.
just the news that they're putting in, or
Sure,
is it
it's-
actual pieces from authors? Because there's certain things that kind of like a
I
book.
write
A
an
book is-
article. An article is sold. You sold that newspaper to me. Once you sold that newspaper to me, I own it. I own that
But you
You
article.
own it for personal
you don't-
purposes.
but
That's
you
not
don't-
how copyright
I'm
works.
allowed to use that. There's no,
For
excuse me.
personal purposes.
Right, for personal.
But you don't own
AI
the.
is
and
not
for
one of those
business.
purposes.
I'm allowed to use it for both personal.
You don't
and
own the
business.
co-
No,
you-
you don't.
Does the
You don't own the
newspaper say?
copyright.
Does the newspaper say you can
No.
only use it for personal
No,
business?
when I want to
when
use
the
something,
newspaper says a
when I
disclaimer,
want to, hold on,
buy
hold
my
on.
newspaper for only
Talking
personal
over people
service.
doesn't make you
no, but
right,
I'm just
Heshy.
trying to finish my point.
What
When
else
it-
is new?
Right,
when
gotcha.
when you want to use something, you still need to give licensing credit. You would say courtesy of New York
If
Times.
you have
to give
licensing
credit to
rights,
someone.
but you
Which you
sold,
don't get by buying
No,
the damn paper.
Excuse me, when you sell me the paper, like when I sell something, or when I make a building, or I have a design, So that design is licensed, like a product you go get patent.
'Cause
If you
you
don't have a
designed it,
license and
yeah.
you don't have it patent, anybody's allowed to use
That's
it.
not
sell
how
it for-
copyright works at
Sure,
all.
that's
no,
how
it's
it
not.
works.
That's how patent works. That is
That's
not how
how
copyright
licensing
works.
works too. If I create a product and I did not license it, I could buy it, sell it, use it, copy it. And the same thing with the New York Times. You have to
Good
tell
luck.
me.
When you get sued, give me a call.
Right.
Well, I got a lot of comments on this, and I'd like to mention, first of all, a couple things here. Our friend, Mr. Joey Saban, wants to say, less January 6th, more 2024. So we'll get to that in a second.
Joey.
All right,
Isn't
Joe.
Joey running for?
Loud and clear.
Yes, he is.
Joey, you're running. You're the only Democrat I'm going to support this year. Okay.
You got George on the line here. Probably
But Joey,
he'd be
he's
Republican.
Come
though.
on, you have that idiot Izzy Weiss running. I mean,
I don't know Izzy Weiss,
Izzy
by the
Weiss.
way.
Oh, by the way, he's Ina Vernikova's.
I know who he is, but I never
Ina
met the guy.
Vernikova's
All right,
campaign.
this is gonna move.
psychic.
Well, let's move.
I don't
away
want to talk
from
about the
that.
drugs and gambling right now. That's
Well, let's move on to some comments that are intelligent. Justin Parsley wants to say that so far we're on current events, recent history. It'd be like not talking about any development after 9/11 in schools and or around kids. In my opinion, this is good, intelligent conversation. I also have here from Justin again that this conversation is no obscenities happening. Books inside of public school libraries can be far worse than this open discussion. And Superfly chimes in and also enjoys the conversation. So thank you.
That's good. Now, I want to tell you something. You know, 9/11, we all know what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
They
He
crashed
wasn't
their
even around for
plane.
it.
The Saudi Arabians, whatever, and Iranians.
I was downtown at the time.
Okay, and I was watching it happen. I was outside at the time, and I used to go to the World Trade Center every single day when I was a travel agent. So I want you to know when it happened. There was no celebration afterwards. You know, there's no even
course
you know even around the world, even the Arab world, they were all scared. You know, on October the 7th, when they killed the Israelis, the Palestinians celebrated. Okay, enemy celebration. They beat us, whatever. You're telling me all the Palestinians are good. Right now, it's not even, 2 months, 80 days into the war?
Yeah.
The pro-Hamas have created a video game that encourages kids to reenact October 7th. They encourage kids in a video game to reenact October 7th.
What is it, like Call of Duty? But
It's something like that, right? And to killing, how they went in to kill, and you have to shoot the Jews and rape and kill them. This is the video game that they made. So you're telling me, anybody out there listening to this show, that Hamas or their people or the Palestinians are any good, or their
All
protests,
right, hold
apartheid?
on, hold
You're
on,
teaching
hold
them in a video game to go out and kill.
Hold on,
by
what are
the
we
way,
saying?
most of those games, you do not get points for killing civilians.
Sure you do.
Right.
No,
This
in real,
particular game.
in real games.
Right. You don't get points for killing. Here, you don't get points for killing.
You play
civilians.
Call of Duty?
Listen,
No, but
there's a
I'm
point
going
to
back. You don't get points for killing civilians, but over here, you're right. This video game does not give points for killing civilians, but you get a bonus if you put somebody in the oven.
First, that's
Oh,
awful.
God.
First
Yeah.
of all,
Well,
but
what do you want me to tell you?
I think the point you're trying to drive home here, and I don't agree with it. Is
Oh, you
that,
don't agree?
I don't. What else is new? Is that all the Palestinians
Do
are
you
bad?
agree that
And listen,
COVID is not back?
Do I couldn't care less if COVID is back or not. We have vaccinations. You take them or you don't. It's up to you.
Right,
Now,
but it doesn't work
that's
anyways,
fine.
vaccination.
Okay, that's fine.
Right.
I mean, neither does birth control. Apparently, here she is.
Yeah.
So, but right.
I know
there's
that, baby. I had a couple
But
myself.
what I want to impress, because I think it's important having a member of the next generation with us
Sure.
today, is you cannot drive the idea home that every Palestinian or every Israeli or every of any kind is all bad. Do I think there were some?
Israelis are not bad.
You missed. You literally took one sentence and missed everything else I said.
Right, the Palestinians are all bad.
No, they're not.
No, that's
you can't.
ridiculous.
That's
All
ridiculous.
bad.
That's not. That's not how that's
They're all
supposed
bad.
to work.
They're all bad. They all have to be
no,
thrown out.
No,
I
be
never used
mindful
to
of who
think
you're
like that.
teaching. Hold on.
I was watching an interview with an Israeli woman who stood on the border. I swear to you, I watched the video as she cried, talked in English. I stood in the border with my friend every day as people came with cancer, sickness. We picked them up from the border, drove them in our vehicle like I do now. I drive people to the hospital. She was one of 100 volunteers that picked them up from the border, drove them to the Jewish hospitals because their hospitals were no good to save them. Every single day, she says, we had volunteers. She says, those same people came on October the 7th and killed us. She says,
it's a
I used to
betrayal.
love and fight for the Palestinians against Israelis. She says now, and I went, listen to her, I hate all Palestinians. I know they hate us. I didn't believe they hate us. I used to tell my people that they don't hate us. She says, now I know that all Palestinians, even the ones with cancer that are dying, that are sick, that I took to the hospital. Why would a lady say that?
No, as an Israeli, I empathize with what she's saying.
Why?
And even if you say a majority of them are bad, I can live with it. Because honestly, seeing what it
Okay,
looks
I'm sorry,
like and seeing what the polls are,
95%, is that
even
the
if you said a
majority?
majority, fine.
I'll give
but
you
a majority,
5% to the Palestinians.
A majority is not
I have
all.
Palestinian friends. I give
You
it to you.
have to remember, this is who we're teaching. This is who we're teaching, right?
We
This
can't
is-
teach them anymore.
This is the next generation. When we're
2024
gone,
is
it's
here.
them. It's just them, right?
I
And so it's important that they
I don't
understand
accept that
who-
5% number.
I know.
Or 10%.
I'm being mean.
I'm
Listen to
hopeful
me.
for the future.
I'm hopeful for
I
the
have
future.
to
You
believe
have
that's
babies.
not true.
Sarah Rose is there. I have grandchildren. Of course I want, the trees that I plant today, that the shade should cover my grandchildren. I got that. I won't be around for that. But here's what I want to tell you. I don't see any good coming. I see it getting worse. I see young people protesting for no reason about apartheid in Israel. That's never going to change. They're stopping Christmas. That has nothing to do with the story. They're stopping and they're putting Nazi signs on, celebrating the murder. I understand apartheid. When they had the apartheid in South Africa, we had protests in the UN. We had protests in America. You didn't see what
I just want
Do
to.
you think all Germans were bad in World War II? In
Yeah.
the Holocaust? Every single German was bad.
You're telling me that a lot of the Germans said they didn't know what was going on.
I'm telling you, there's
You're telling me they
I'm
didn't know
telling
what
you,
was
there's
going
an
on?
honorary Hall of Fame
No,
in
no,
Yad
no.
Vashem
Sure.
of Germans
About 10%.
who were given
5 to 10%.
honorary
Right.
status in
They're
Israel
called-
for saving
they
Jews.
are
So that
called
means that has to mean
Gentile-
logically that
right.
not every German was bad.
They're called the righteous.
Yes.
They're called the righteous.
Nachon.
Right. So they're called the righteous among the whatever.
And
They're
righteous among the nations.
among the nation.
Yeah.
So there are many that did save us, but there were millions of Germans, and they saw what was going on in Germany. They didn't, and some of them were locked in. I was talking to a couple of senior Germans many years ago in the 80s when I was traveling, and I sat down with them, and they were older. They were by the war. I said, we were running a hotel, and we really didn't know what was going on. I said, really? You mean the soldiers were coming in, the Nazis were walking in, the gossip that's going on? I know that I hear gossip going on in California, San Francisco. My children who are religious, even the super Hasidic, who have no TVs, no radios, no cable, no nothing, they know what gay and lesbian is.
Heshy, can we just say?
How?
Heshy, can we just say something? There's a concept in sociology, psychology, that a people can be driven mad as a group. It's happened during the Cultural Revolution. It's now happening it happened in Northern Ireland, and it's happening with the Palestinians now.
No.
I believe that some people
You
can
stand up for what's right in a Jewish religion, and I'm sorry to tell you, and I'm going to tell you because that's what I do. That's why I go into jail. That's why I fight. You must give your life to do the right thing.
Correct.
A judge,
I believe
a
that.
judge
believe
that
that.
does not follow his heart, even though he's pressured, bribed, threatened, when he gets up there, Jew or not Jewish judge, will be specially punished extra hard for not doing the right thing. Police officers that tell me that this is my job, if not, I will lose my job, they deserve to lose their jobs. You have to follow the law, not follow what your director says. If the law is wrong and they tell you to arrest somebody, or they tell you to cheat, or a judge signs a warrant, or they come and arrest you without a grand jury, that is wrong. And in America today, our founding fathers did not allow this to happen. You guys have interpreted the founding fathers' rule. It's simple. I'm allowed my firearms. I'm allowed to protect myself if the government does something wrong. I'm allowed to create an insurgent if I want to do it, if I believe the government is wrong. And I'm allowed, most importantly, the freedom to talk, say, go, and do, and not take shots whenever I want. And you never, ever have the right to shut this country down.
By the way,
that's what the founding fathers did. You guys have...
Trying to understand what that has to do with the point.
Well,
we're
Thomas
point
Jefferson.
What are we getting at here?
Thomas Jefferson.
I want her to hear this. Our founding fathers were smarter than the idiots around today. And those courts that make rules on abortion, even though I'm against abortion, those guys that rule on a presidential thing, which they have no right to rule. There's no right.
I mean, they
you
actually
can't
have every
rule
right
on
to
a
rule
law
on
that
it.
doesn't exist.
Well, I have one comment.
The courts are made to rule on law, nothing more.
Actually, I have two
That's
interesting
not
comments from
entirely true,
Black
but
Beauty
okay.
says, did it happen during COVID too? ? And Superfly says, just doing my job, and then kind of a few kind of almost like slow, sarcastic dots, and says, I have no respect for the NYPD anymore.
I love the NYPD because they put their life on the line. But sometimes they They have no excuses to be babies. I have to give you a ticket. I have to stand on the corner and pull you over for your blinker not being on.
Well, I know this is an unpopular take, Heshy, but there's a lot of bad cops out there.
You know what Tom sent me?
What?
That this, what was it?
Intro 586 was talking about
Right.
with the How to Stop Act that was passed in the city council. We're talking about where there basically is every time a police officer stops someone, they have to kind of like put it in a log.
Put in a log. But here's the worst thing. But to give $430 million in tickets, the DO, that's the cops, that's the police department. The DOB has issued $2 billion in fines, sanitation over $100 million in fines, and I can keep going through the 312 government agencies. This week I was called to a building by the health department. I want to come into the building because you have dust all over. That was the. I said, are you crazy? There's no dust. I mean, there's daily dust that we mop and clean, and this building is spick and span clean because I'm there watching it. We're renovating it.
Sure.
We're going. I'm talking. Every rule is followed when you're working under me. Perfect. I want to come in. I said, you can't come in. The Constitution. You have to let me in. I'm going to get a warrant. I said, go get a warrant. Do I really care? Go get a warrant. I don't care. Anyways, after talking and pleading with me, he says, listen to me. Just let me in. I'll make all the complaints go away. Now, there was another 30 complaints. I said, you know what? I'll make a deal with you, Inspector. You tell me this. Send me an email that you will make every single complaint go away this way. If it doesn't go away, I'll show it to the judge that you lied, whatever it is, and I'll be able to use it against any violation.
You ain't doing that.
I'll let you walk. He sent me an email.
Did he?
And I made an appointment with him. I walked with him on the building Tuesday. He showed up. He was a little late, and I walked with him the building. Every floor, every inch, and I videotaped it. He finally gets to one of the floors, and he sees a white mark. Oh, dust. I said, 1 minute, you just walked 6 floors of a building. No dust, no dirt, no construction, no mess up, nothing. You see a white line on the floor. Don't you think somebody moved a piece of furniture and scraped the tile? And that's what that white is?
What if I
Why don't you
inspected your room like that? How about the next
Okay?
time you clean
But my
your room?
point is they're looking to get us. What do you mean you're looking to get us?
no.
That is not the deal. You're not looking to get us. I was at the Department of Buildings today, and I heard them complaining we have nobody to pick up the phones. What the hell's wrong with the 5 of you? 5 of them are sitting there complaining at the counter that's not busy. But nobody's picking up the phones. This is the way, my office, if somebody's not busy, you pick up the phones. This is the way why the city doesn't work correctly. And this is why, cut the budget because fire those idiots. They don't deserve that.
And a couple of the comments here. The NYPD does not have a duty to act if they choose not to. Black Beauty wants to say, I mean the collective man.
Am I boring still, lady, out there?
No, not tonight. I mean,
thank
Black
God.
Beauty. I never thought you were boring, but that's obviously one of our
love you, Tom.
constituents.
You always push me.
Black Beauty says.
Tom wants me just to be quiet.
Tom spoils you.
Tom wants me to be
I
bored.
mean the collective. Let's get to the comments though, because we don't got so much time left. I mean the collective madness that happened during the Cultural Revolution. Superfly also wants to say yes, only with a warrant or permission can they enter.
Not
and
true.
Josh Bailey's got a great one.
Not true.
Heshy, this is a great one because Josh Bailey, he's really gonna fire you up. He wants to know what did you think about Eric Garner? Good old
no.
Josh Bailey, your friend Josh Bailey.
Let me tell you something, Mike.
Let me tell you something. That's how you know it's going to
it's gonna
start
be
off
good.
bad.
In America today,
Bam Bam Heshy Tishler, come on.
I don't need a license to sell stuff on the cell. You're right, if it's an illegal drug.
Cigarettes, yeah.
Or cigarettes,
Down by
really?
the Staten Island
That's
Ferry,
what your
yes.
problem is. A tax problem, you arrest, you choke a man, and you kill him, and you beat him up for that. Come on, man. Give him a ticket to go away. But you know what they did? They went and they killed the man.
Yeah,
They
it's
killed
horrible.
him. For what? Really, for what? I'm allowed to stand on the corner and sell my corn on the cob, at least in the olden days. Every minute there's licensing. You're right. You want to take up a particular spot on the street. That's a good spot. I don't still agree with the stupid licensing thing. I believe that we're allowed to as long as you keep it clean. If you don't keep it clean, then you're right. You should be punished and taken away. And your unit should be, the item that you're selling it from should be licensed by the thing. But
We
if
have
I'm-
migrants selling papaya on the
I know
streets
that.
now.
Buy water, they were doing that for a while already.
Yeah.
But again, I'm allowed to sell whatever I want in this country, where I want. Little kids sell lemonade, and there's always one idiot somewhere.
There's a Karen.
Right,
There was
always
a
right.
Karen.
But there's always
Talk about
one
the Karen.
idiot that they come over to a kid, you need a permit. Or you made so much money you need to do. Come on, guys. I was selling lemonade as a kid. I was selling firecrackers. I know. They were illegal, but they weren't illegal because the Italians gave it to me and they told me it was legal. So I had no problem. Come on, they used illegal firecrackers.
you're not getting
in
any
middle of
complaints from this
Bensonhurst.
court.
Illegal firecrackers. Firecrackers are illegal, especially to light it. In the middle of Bensonhurst, the police surrounded the block and allowed the mafia to make a big presentation, and it was on television. Nobody said a word, but
entrepreneurial. That's how
Heshy
you get
Tischler
to
lights a
be
little
a
firecracker, I go to jail.
Actually, Josh Bailey wants to say that he's genuinely surprised you have this stance, and he also wants to say that you're right and how democratic of you.
Thank you.
No, Republican that allows the capitalistic nature of any human being to get ahead in life, and you're allowed to keep your money and not be taxed, because you know what?
Not be taxed.
The government has a rule. You have no right to keep your money. You have no right to educate your children in separate places. You have no right to own your home, and you have no right to have a pension. That's what the government's theme is.
Heshy, get to the real point here.
The real point is simple.
No,
Heshy
it
Tischler NY. Heshy Tischler NY for City Council. That's going to be our new committee, and we're going to be coming for you for money.
And
HeshyTischler.com,
HeshyTischler.com, 53
because what you hear
16th
today
Avenue,
is going to be every day in City Council.
Yeah.
I know George is going to be hiding in a corner somewhere. Oh, Heshy's on one of his tangents. I got to go get him his medicine. Well, George, just carry that extra bottle around, because I will not allow the founding fathers and no stupid
Heshy, can
New
you
York
name all the
Constitution.
founding fathers?
Yes, I can.
Can
I
you
can
name
name
them?
all 56 of them, I think.
56 of them.
I think it was
And
56.
There isn't.
It was 56 or 50.
I think
All
Joe.
right. Who's your favorite
56 signed the
founding
con- 56 signed the
Hamilton.
Constitution, right? Was it 56?
Don't look at me. I didn't make that claim.
you know what?
Producer, where are you?
I
Oh,
think-
he's outside
Well, you're-
again. Where's the producer? He went out for how many? Can you look up on your thing?
As
That's
I
your
look
job.
up, I was
How
asking
many
you.
founding-
You're
how many
raving
people
about
signed
them.
the
Heshy,
Constitution?
before you totally go off the rails,
Yeah.
I think Joey Saban said it the best. That
Joey, I love you.
This
You better
goes
win,
to
because
show
I want to fight with you over there.
This goes to show you that you don't have to be Republican or Democrat to be on the right side of an issue.
I love it.
Exactly, Joey.
Exactly.
And I want you to know, I believe in George Washington, even though he messed up a little bit. You know what I mean? He did.
How did he mess up?
During the Revolution, he was in Trenton, New Jersey, if you remember. Yeah? How many? 53. 53? 34. It was not 34 sign-ins. There was 50-something. 38? Well,
39 is what
he's
telling
wrong.
you.
I'm going to
George-
check.
646-974-58.
How many
Tell
people
us.
signed that
If you're going to
Constitution?
invoke their names, you
well,
might
there
as
was
well know it. You got to know who
56
they
of
are.
Okay, 34, 56. There was somebody like that. Maybe
So
they-
George Washington got stuck in New
So
Jersey.
George
That was his crime?
Washington was
Everything is
during the
legal in New
winter.
Jersey.
During the winter, he was stuck with his army, and what happened was some kind of flu or epidemic broke out, and he also shut down the town and created like a COVID thing of a lockdown.
COVID thing?
And that was illegal what he did.
In the
but
1700s?
the reason why he was able to do what I believe he did it was not for the population safety, was since he was an army, like the British, he went in and was able to commandeer from the people, because he had this epidemic for his soldiers, and he was short in supplies, so he was able to take away from the people. I understand we're at war and we needed to get supplies, but again, I don't believe that he did the right thing during that part of the war, but I'm happy he won. So the end goal, if he would have lost, he would have been like, what was that guy who double-crossed us?
Benedict Arnold.
Benedict Arnold.
I
And
didn't
he
hear
died
that in the
alone.
Hamilton play, did you?
I know that. Benedict Arnold, what happened? Great general that he was, stupid. Ended up, even with the British, they dishonored him. He sat there, died poor, what a loser.
You know, Heshy, I wanted to ask you something real quick, because I know we're coming toward the end of the show, and we were speaking about this off
I have
the
so many
air.
other topics to talk about,
But
but go ahead.
I did want to wonder, because obviously this is our last show of the year in 2023. Does anybody have any New Year's resolutions or goals for 2024? You know, I've been asking this a lot on my own shows on Sports Wire already with the various people we have on, and I'm just kind of curious whether it's for the co-host here or anybody else that's in the chat. You know, do you have any New Year's resolutions? Do you have any goals? Anything you like to do better or differently? I thought that'd be a
My
good
New
way to
Year's
look at it.
resolution is to finally win an election and to make more money than Linda,
There you go.
because she makes too much money. George is looking
Never
at
heard a
me.
man complain
It's
about
not me. It's her, George. She
That
has the money.
mattress. It's that mattress.
I know. No wonder she sleeps on the other side and never lets me on her side of the bed anymore.
So, Nicole, what's your New Year's resolution?
To get
What's your,
married.
Sarah, what's your, no, oh my God, no. What's your New Year's resolution?
My New Year.
I don't know.
You don't have one? Must be nice to be 8 years old.
I
Yeah.
don't even make resolutions. I didn't know that was a thing.
My New Year's resolution is to keep you healthy and smart.
Right. And my New Year resolution is never to take the shot and to make this city better, never to let us close down this city again. I'm ready. I'm prepared, and I'm ready to build an army. And if you guys want to join Heshy's army, my great-great-great-grandfather, George Washington Tischler. That's a joke.
HeshyTischler.com. HeshyTischler.com.
You know his great-grandfather is George
HeshyTischler.com.
Washington?
My campaign, my committee is being opened this week. We'll have a bank account. We're going to start collecting money. I also want to collect for the soldiers, but I want to raise by mid-February or March, just in case there's a special election. I want to raise my 50, 60 grand so I can get 8 times the matching funds.
I have an amazing resolution from Josh Bailey. His resolution is that he would like to be a guest on the show. So that's what he would like to do.
That would be great.
Yep. Okay. Yep, he would like to do that. And Black Beauty wants to say, I think you should take up Josh Bailey on that offer. He's from beautiful Bay Ridge, not too far from here. So in George's neck of the woods.
Bay Ridge.
And,
But is George going to be on Nicole's side? Because he talks nice about Nicole
also,
and not about me.
Black Beauty wants to say next year I'm voting for Linda Tischler and the Rich Housewives. And,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, according to Nicole, why housewives shouldn't be working?
You got to go with it. You got.
According to Nicole, housewives shouldn't be working for
And I
free.
want to thank,
Don't get it twisted.
before we forget, I want to thank our listeners one more time in 2023, 620 WSNR, 1027 WNEW, and WJPR in Miami. Thank you for all of your support this year. We can't wait to see you back next week for the first show of 2024. Be safe out there. Happy New Year. And our producer wanted to ask,
Thank you, Sarah.
what were some of your favorite moments in the show this year in 2023? Was there any favorite moments you had, Heshy? I know you and I were probably here for half the year together. They were here not as long.
I enjoyed the show where the guy was able to read my mind and make us do stuff. Remember that? And I said, it's impossible. And he actually, I don't think he tricked me. I was very careful and thinking away, and he was able to trick me. And also,
I think Daniel Holkauer was a sanitation worker who got laid off during COVID.
Right,
that was a good Tom Ballou's friend. I thought that was a memorable one. You had Roger Stone.
Roger Stone was one of my favorite interviews. Roger Stone, I really, really enjoyed Roger Stone. A smart, intelligent man. And
the Passover show you did was a memorable one. The month before Passover, that was a memorable one. You did that. That was my other favorite show moment was right after Election Day. We came on the show and we were in the absentee ballots, and you went on a classic rant there. I'm sure George wouldn't be thrilled on that, but that was a memorable moment of mine. But we had a lot of moments.
Everybody thought I was depressed about it, but you know what? Life goes on
Tom
every
Sullivan,
day.
I want to mention, who came on here
Tom
from Queens.
Sullivan,
That was a
very
very
interesting
informative
guy,
interview.
yeah.
Tom Sullivan, who lost by like 12 votes or something like that, 13 votes in an assembly race. That was kind of crazy.
I want you to know, I've had, my year is every day that I wake up, I feel, I get up when it's still dark, and I see the sun come up. And I know that the sun's coming up, and I'm waiting for it, and I see the light. So I know every day there's a light. I know there's a light at the end of this tunnel is coming.
It reminds me of the Corey Hart song, Never Surrender. You talked about that before. Never Surrender.
And also in 1980, my favorite song, the end of the decade of the 70s, I Will Survive.
Oh, Gloria Gaynor.
Oh, Gloria Gaynor.
It's one of the most famous songs.
She's going to know that. She's a singer. She'll definitely know that.
I love I Will Survive. I will survive. I will make it.
You going to sing it for us? Only counts if you sing it for us.
My favorite singer was Donna Summer, but I can't sing her songs.
My favorite song is Journey, Don't Stop Believing.
That's a good one, too.
Very nice. Yes.
A good way to, segue into the new year.
I'm embarrassed to tell you, I used to like the Backstreet Boys.
So did I. Hey, listen, I had the biggest crush on Nick you've ever
Isn't the
seen.
Backstreet Boys a gay band?
No, they're
No,
not.
they're
Oh,
not
they're
gay.
No, they're just gay looking.
They do. They look gay. I was embarrassed.
Wow.
They do. They dress all white and skinny pants. You see?
That
You see?
way.
He's a singer.
Tell me why
They
it
dance
ain't
like women.
nothing but-
Oh, my God.
You're just upset they're hot.
Wow. There's a lot of hot people. I don't. Whatever. Anyways, I have no problem with the gay.
Yeah, they just can't serve for Congress, that's all.
No, they can't. They could serve for Congress. They can serve meals for Congress. That was a joke. That's a joke. I love the LGBTQF community.
Let's shout out Nicole's cat is here, actually, by the way.
All right.
Yeah.
Nicole's cat.
Nicole brought a cat. What's the cat's
I
name?
did. His
She
name
has
is
him in a
Noodle.
pocketbook?
Yeah,
Locked up?
that's right.
No, it's not.
You
No,
zipping him closed?
I do. He's right here.
Does he have any
See?
air in
And
there?
He's a cutie.
See?
Justin Parsley also wants to say that you got too much Eminem you're listening to these days.
There you
Is that
go.
true you listen to
I
Eminem?
love Eminem. I love Eminem. That's the white guy, right? That
Yes.
sings,
I'm the real Slim Shady.
I'm
this
the
is-
real Slim Shady. What a
Yeah.
great
This
song.
is the only kind of pussy you should want to grab. That's all.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
my God! Even that I
Oh,
would.
Justin's
yeah.
dead,
When
by the
Trump
way.
says it, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, everybody, we're coming to the end of the
Yes.
show. I want to wish you all a happy new year.
Yes.
I want to
Be
wish
safe out there.
George, Sarah Rose, I want to wish you a happy new year, Nicole, a happy new year.
Thank you.
And I can't wait for
Happy
you
New Year,
to get
Heshy.
married. On January the 10th, we're going to have a show before then. My niece is getting married.
Congratulations.
You're all invited. You're all welcome to come. It's going to be at Manhattan Beach Jewish Center. Just pop over.
Oh boy, know that place very well.
Oh my God, the producer's screaming. You can't invite everybody. Just come. Don't worry about it. I will be
The
going.
whole city's
What?
invited.
And I
Well,
just like
if-
to thank all
if
my
you
fans
come,
on
bring an
Sports By
envelope.
Radio. Yep.
That's right. And by the way, when my son has the second baby boy, you're all invited to the bris. I'm paying, so don't come. Just come. Don't worry about it. Anyways, thank you everybody for
Yep,
listening.
thank you, everybody.
Producer, you can
Thank
play
you
the
to
music.
all my listeners out there on Sports By
And
Radio.
Happy
1,000
New
listeners
Year.
I just got.
Bye,
Yep.
Powerball.